big trouble at the end. So, what I think we're going to do is let's take and cut a triangular graduation in a different way than we normally would. Who's been in school the longest here? Over a year? Yeah? Okay, tell me what, when we cut a triangular graduation, where do we normally start? In the back? Okay. So we start in the back, and then what? Up and forward, right? Which is kind of hard. So with that, graduation, I think a lot of times what we define a graduation is, it's going to be like a 45-degree angle, right? We don't know what the heck a 45-degree angle is on a head, and it's going to change so fast. Heads are really, really weird. They're shaped really, really weird, right? And when we come and look at a head, I think a lot of times we divide it the wrong way. When we look at a head, the back of the head is actually really, really small, right? It starts changing or transitioning probably 2 or 3 fingers wide, and then we start changing to this side, the side of the head, which is a lot bigger, and probably the biggest part of the head. So a lot of times what we do is we divide this into 4 standard segments, which is a great thing to do for control, but it divides the head in the wrong areas. So if I were to come in here and I set my comb on the top, this is my highest point, but if I split it right there, we're not splitting it evenly, right? This little bit this section is a small bit compared to all of this in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the head, where the head starts to round in this back crown area, that's going to divide my head in half. And I want to do that so I can have more control of the hair and cut the hair where it's living. And so I'm going to come in and I'm going to section out this front part. Do you part your hair on a certain side?
It's always been down the center.
Down the center? Cool. Cool. So what I'm going to do on one side is going to be different than we'll cut on the other side. But I'm going to create a graduation, a triangular graduation from the front going to the back. Yeah? What's going to dictate that is our section angle and finger angle to create a graduation that goes from front to back. So right now, I know kind of where I'm going to go because I don't want to go lower than this section back through here. But I'm going to start in the front. And as I'm looking at this, I think I might do more of a triangular graduation on this side and then create more of an asymmetry because this side just has more length. So I think that could be kind of cool rather than, because I can always cut length off, but I don't know how to put it back on. So what we'll do, I think, is create a graduation on this side. And I'm going to know where I'm going to bring my length is right to here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take a section that's going to mirror the hairline. And whenever you're starting to section the hair, always comb it in the direction you're going to go. And so my hairline is going, like I said, is going to mirror my section is going to mirror my hairline. It's coming down through here. I know my length is going to sit right about here. And so then, once I get this first section in, and depending on how thick this first section is, will determine the amount of graduation, right? The thicker this is, the less hair I'll have up here, the less graduated it will be. The less hair I have down here, the more graduated it will be, because we'll cut off more length. So what I'm going to do is come in. I'm just going to comb this hair down where it wants to live. She has a little bit of texture, and so I'm not going to put in my fingers or cut down any sort of length or any sort of tension on it, because that's gonna mess up my outline, and I want to be able to adjust it when I get it dry. So what we're gonna do is cut our line in. I know I'm gonna bring it to back here. So this is point A. We know we're gonna bring it back to point B. And this first section is gonna be with no over direction, no elevation, and just cut right on the skin. Are you nervous?
Nope.
That makes one of us. So as I pull this down, again, I'm just gonna cut this right on the skin. I'm gonna connect point A to point B. Point B being back here. And I think we're even gonna have to take this side just a little bit shorter because of the length already. Has anybody ever taken one of my classes before? No one's been in it? So, yeah. So this morning I taught, and last time I was here I made a girl cry. And yeah, and she was in my class today, and I think we were cool.
I think we were.
No. Oh yeah, she did show. Yeah, she did actually. So as I come through, I'm gonna again continue to cut this right on the skin, right where it lives. Cool. So this is section 1. This little hair is not going to do anything for us anyways, so we can really just kind of work that off, and we'll work it off at the end too. My next section is going to mirror section 1, and this is where we're going to start putting our graduation in. So where we took essentially just cut a 1 length, we're now going to graduate it. Why it's going to be triangular is we're going to pull the hair straight out from where it lives with a diagonal back section. Our sectioning is going to dictate the graduation that we're putting into the hair. So as I come in with this, I'm going to take a slight diagonal back section. So it's a little too fine. So something to the effect of this, yeah? So now what I'm gonna do to make sure that I create a triangular graduation, I'm gonna pull this hair straight out. My finger angle is gonna kick back, but I'm gonna know the amount of graduation that I have because this is now my guide, this first section that we cut. Gonna be brought out, I'm gonna just pull my fingers out to that point and then connect point A to B again. So, as I pull this out, I'm gonna see my length down through here, and we are just gonna take off these corners and create a graduation. Pulling the hair straight out from where it lives. Straight out, elevation is at 90, and then again, just taking this length, connecting it to our graduation, or length at the bottom, which will in turn create our graduation. Cool? And then we are just gonna continue doing this, over directing, or not over directing, just pulling the hair straight out from where it lives. Seeing my guide and connecting that piece. And so all we're starting to create is just this little bevel right here, taking off that corner weight. I'm going to continue back. Again, standing in front of the hair, so it's easier, we know where it's going. I see my guide, and I'm just connecting that length to the length through the bottom.